Resiliency is the ability to bounce back. If things don't work out, just shrugging it off and moving on. It's knowing that I can get through this. I came to Western in 2011 without really an idea of what I wanted to do. I lost one roommate to suicide while I was attending Western, and another one of my floor mates had left the following year and took his own life. I myself went through a serious depression, and it wasn't until I was able to sort of learn how to define and communicate my boundaries that I noticed I was in a much better emotional state. And ultimately, that's what helped me complete college and move forward in life. I wouldn't have been able to have done that without accessing the resources that were available to me at Western.
So Men's Resiliency is a program that was developed, for the most part, by Ian Vincent, to combat negative male stereotypes in college-age men. And this is anything from binge drinking, over-competitiveness, and one of the really big ones is an incapability of most college-age men to process and digest their own emotions in a healthy way.
Men have a much higher completion rate of suicide, and it is the second leading cause of death for college-age males. Men have been taught their entire lives to pick themselves up, brush the dirt off, but realistically they may need help to do that. It's so often that I meet with male students who are feeling isolated or unable to connect with a similar social group.
Productive conversation doesn't happen in 250 characters or less. It also doesn't happen on 4 minutes of news or less. It doesn't happen when people don't sit down and actually have conversations with other people.
Last spring, we partnered with the Student Fly Fishing Club, and we built this event called Casting for Care.
The best way I've heard it described is it's like people, young men, going fishing and talking about their feelings. Fly fishing is a contemplative sport activity. You're not talking to anybody else while you're fishing, but you're thinking about what you just talked about. The contemplative aspect of it just turned out to be a very good segue into talking about and thinking about your emotions more deeply. A lot of young men feel pressured to perform, and they feel like if they're not performing to that certain expectation that they're failing.
We're setting up very unrealistic expectations of what it means to be a man. When we start kind of doing some more reflection on that, then we're becoming more aware of, I'm not the person that TV wants me to be, and that's okay. Society doesn't do a very good job of allowing men the opportunity to be vulnerable with one another and share. Casting for Care allowed for that. Students that were really struggling with just finding a sense of belonging here. It was really cool to see how that event helped change them. A lot of them became more involved in programs and clubs on campus, and our expectations for that event were just blown out of the water.
It's just helped me be aware and think about and internalize the things that I do that are self-destructive. Okay, let's think about that, you know what I mean? And when you're thinking about it and you're acknowledging it, you're doing something. You're not unaware. Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life.
The most surprising thing for me about Casting for Care was realizing that if you give men just 1 hour to connect, they will.
Well, we came and we conquered.